So we open the is there any question or comments?
Oh, well, thank you very much for this excellent and informative presentations. I think there were a lot of learning areas, and the areas you have covered are very, very close to our hearts and our own agency for Habitat, starting from the risk identification and analysis, disaster risk planning, the hazard mapping, habitat assessment, disaster risk reduction, emergency response, and all the preparedness activities that you have talked about, including the early warning system. I think we have learned a lot. And as you know, the situation here in the country in Afghanistan is also the same, highly susceptible and prone to natural disasters. On the other hand, the coping capacity and the vulnerability is very, very high. Let me see if our CEO, Mr. Rahat Beg, is having any comment. And then after that, we will ask our questions too. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Said. I'd like to express our gratitude to respectable members from Spanish and Venezuelan academies, including Mr. Henriquez, Mr. Recuina, José Luis López, Mr. Torres, Mr. Alejandro, and other respected members. We are very grateful to you for organizing this presentation for us. In this extensive presentation, I felt that there is a lot of learning for us. We were particularly impressed with the diagnosis model that you shared, Alejandro. And then we are grateful to Mr. Luis Lopez for his in-depth analysis which he presented. But one of the good things is that we see a lot of similarity in what we are currently doing and what is generally recommended in your presentation. So it is a matter of a lot of satisfaction for us, and in the meantime, it brings us closer to you, because it gives me the impression that in many ways there is a lot of resemblance in your research work and some of the field works that we are doing. So we are grateful to all of you. We were very impressed to see the mathematical models that you have presented. All of them are very, very, very impressive, very useful, and I would like to express our gratitude on behalf of our Khan Agency for Habitat, Afghanistan, for this excellent presentation. And I'd like to congratulate you all for your outstanding work. We are so grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rahat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Open for questions. Dr. Amit Kumar, anything from your side?
So I thank you so much for your presentation, professors. Right now, I was thoroughly enjoying the methodologies and the different ways and mitigation strategy that you were discussing. Right now, there are many similarity as Mr. Rahat was talking about it. Many more to discuss, but not at this moment. Maybe that when the presentation, I will go through it, and then I would like to see that what commonality and how we can reciprocate, or maybe that reiterate this methodology in our work and our functions. The most important, the challenge that we face at this moment is that all the scientific-based solutions, what is the appetite that the stakeholders have? How to make it through and implement in the field? Another important challenge that we face is that resources and how, with limited resources, we can introduce these methods and measures in the field. So I would like to learn more and more from you in future. It is the first step towards our exchange of knowledge and the practices. So we would like to see that what practices that you have and what you practice at this moment, and what we can emulate from your experience. That will be my way forward. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
So
I would like
over
to say
from my
something.
side.
Okay. I would like to say something.
Sure.
Yeah, well, of course, we appreciate your comments. For us, have been a pleasure to have this first contact. I understand that this is not the moment to go deeper about each one of the aspects that have been um, aborted today. I think that is interesting that maybe we can share some materials initially.
Right.
I will send to Marta maybe the presentation and maybe a couple of documents. For me, in fact, was difficult to identify. Okay, I will resume in a single slide uh, an experience in which I know that some people have been working maybe 5 years, and so there's so much
Yes.
that could be shared, but I'm not sure if this specific experience will be interesting for our friends in Afghanistan. So what I recommend is that once that you have time to see the materials, you can define which specific areas could be more interesting for you, and based on that, we can have another meeting, or we can prepare some pack of specific materials, documents, maps, methodologies that we can bring you for only for those specific areas in which you are more interested. No, that is something I think that could be good to move forward on this relation. No? I also want to say, I already mentioned it to Marta, that in the members of the Academy of Engineering and Hábitat of Venezuela that lives in Spain used to promote some forum, Ibero-American forum, to to uh, to deal with these challenges of disaster reduction and hydroclimatic related disaster scenario. We have the idea to have a new forum, Ibero-American forum, in the middle of the year, maybe later. And for us, it could be great to have a presentation of your foundation in order to know what kind of effort have you been doing, what are your experience, and learn a little about the working agenda that you have been implementing there in Afghanistan. So I think that could be great to talk a little to find if it could be possible to invite you to the next edition of this Latin American Forum in order to know a little in that continent the kind of work that you have been doing in the countries in which you work.
Thank you so much. In
Alejandro,
fact,
Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
in fact, I was looking at the hazards that we were discussing.
Okay.
I think there is an echo.
There's the echo.
Okay, great. I hear some feedback, but I understood. Thank you very much, Hamad. Marta, you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to suggest that now the next meeting would be ACA presenting to you what ACA has done. It's a different scale, and it's not related with the governmental policies. It's more with the community-based approach and how ACA responds to small and medium-sized disasters, not large disasters. So maybe we can set for in a month period the same meeting, but with ACA presenting to you what we do.
That's great. I think that's a good idea. Where it's good, the directive board of the academic will analyze and define how this presentation should be done. But I think that that's a great idea. I also suggest, Marta, that if you find some of your team there in Afghanistan could be interested to have not a formal meeting with a program, but just horizontal conversation about any one of these aspects, let's do it. For me, it will be a pleasure to share experience and to move forward in this exchange of experience.
If in a month's time we can present you what ACA does, that would still give us time for the Ibero-American forum, and you can see firsthand, and then we can go to that. And thank you very much, Alejandro. It was extremely thorough. It was very, very comprehensive of all the different hazards, and you will be very happy to see what ACA has to show, which is similar to what you were talking at another scale in a different context.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you very much. Let me see if our colleagues, Mr. Ibrar and Karim Dad, if you have any comments or questions.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. I mean, that's wonderful. Perhaps I've said that similarities of what we are doing in Afghanistan, and we are looking forward to have another meeting with our professors. Thank you so much. No question.
Thank you very much. So it's the same here, although I had a couple of questions noted down because, as head of emergency management and disaster risk management in Afghanistan, there are many areas to learn from your experiences, but I hope and I think that this is a very nice beginning. So we will continue with these discussions. Thanks to Marta and all of you for all these incredible discussions and analysis. So I'm sure that in the next session that we are talking about what type of interventions we are doing here in the country on DRR, on emergency response and disaster management and planning, I'm sure those questions also will be raised there using the opportunity. So we appreciate all the analysis and all the great discussions and technical presentations. We look forward to be connecting with you in future and learning more. I think we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, José Luis, Frank, Alejandro, everybody. Thank you very much, and we will be in contact to organize the next session where ACA can present what we are doing here in Afghanistan. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for you. Marta, thank you, Fran, for the invitation. Thank you, José Luis, and well, thank you to the members of the Academy. It has been a pleasure to share this space with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good time.
Great.
Good night.
My best regards to everyone.
Good night.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Excellent. Thank you.